Hi everyone, it's Mario Vegas and welcome back to the Tank Zone. I have played military games for as long as I can remember myself, starting with the plastic pistols, figurines, tank models, board games, PC games, and eventually massive multiplayer online tactical shooters. And I just love these games, but there is one huge problem with that, and it is a huge amount of those games. And if you are a fan of military games, then it is not always easy to find a game that delivers the perfect or desired experience for you. That's why today we will go through the top 15 best PC tank games that are worth to try out. And we will start with the place number 15. And in 15th place is Panzer Corps. Panzer Corps has old school turn-based strategy gaming and it is great. You play as Wehrmacht general and must oversee and manage operations across 26 Axis campaigns. There are over 800 unit types spread among 20 unit classes, which result in endless array of attacking options for both sides. On top of that, every unit has around 20 parameters by which its strengths and weaknesses can be changed, making it one of the best strategy games available. Number 14. Company of Heroes 2. Company of Heroes 2 is a great real-time strategy game made by Sega. The game is all about tactical ingenuity and making the best use of your tank's tactics and abilities like cover, line of sight and suppression, which are the keys for success in this game. Plus, you will have to manage your resources using genuine battle tactics if you want to repel the enemy. Number 13. Red Orchestra. Although tanks are not the main focus in this game, Red Orchestra 2 has similar ballistic and armor penetration mechanics as War Thunder, making every encounter between two tanks an adrenaline-fueled duel where knowledge and precision triumph over brute force. On top of that, the constant threat of instant destruction at the hands of enemy anti-tank troops is another gameplay side that makes it probably one of the best multiplayer games on PC. Number 12. Heroes and Generals. Heroes and Generals is an ultimate World War II game. A free-to-play, massive multiplayer online fast-paced shooter game where Germany and United States and the Soviet Union fight for victory using a huge arsenal of vehicles and weapons. There are only few tank management features to pay attention in this game, which means that the main focus is on wreaking havoc as a tank commander where your action can make a difference for your allies. Number 11. Battlefield 2042. If you like going really fast, blowing helicopters out of skies, then Battlefield 2042's tanks are exactly for you. There are no careful positioning or tactics as the main key for survival and the victory in this game. Rampaging around the map causing untold damage is what Battlefield 2042 is all about. Number 10. Steel Division 2. Steel Division 2 is a strategy game featuring Eastern Front battles during World War II. You have a chance to lead the entire Soviet army fighting back against the Nazis in real-time skirmishes across 25 maps and multiple game modes. Battlefield maps are huge. It is 150 times 100 kilometers with over 600 unit types that you can use to achieve victory in the solo or co-op campaigns, and even in multiplayer matches that have up to 10 players on each side. Unlike other real-time strategy games, Steel Division 2 puts less emphasis on resource gathering and things like that, allowing you to concentrate on commanding tanks and blowing things. Number 9. Arma 3. Arma 3 has a massive game world that adds a new sense to your tanking experience. An overwhelming scale gives players a new source of anxiety in form of having to constantly scan the horizon for new threats. Buildings and natural cover are scarce, meaning that survival and indeed victory really depends upon ability to identify and destroy the enemy before they even know you are there. Arma 3 is not 100% a tank game, but it has an incredible level of realism that brings the concept of modern tanking warfare to life. In Arma 3 you can enjoy playing as an armored unit of a massive army, aiding ground assaults, hunting down enemy tanks, and wrecking down strongholds. Number 8. Panzer Elite Action Gold Edition. Incredibly user-friendly game, full of engaging mechanics and unblockables. Playing on either side, allies or axes in a variety of famous conflicts, Panzer Elite Action gives you a control of 4 to 5 tanks in 3 exciting campaigns all over the world. While it lacks the realism of its originator, Panzer Elite, the need to look after your crew, use squad tactics and upgrade your equipment gives you a thrilling experience for start to finish. There are 2 separate North African campaigns, Patton vs Rommel and multiplayer mode, with up to 32 players. This game is worth to try out. Number 7. Steel Armor Blaze of War. Steel Armor Blaze of War is a highly authentic and dynamic tank simulator covering 1980s Iran-Iraq conflict, 1984 Afghanistan and 1987 Angola War, with dynamic campaigns, historical missions, large-scale tactical battles with real tanks, APCs, artillery, aviation and infantry, destructible environment, interactive landscapes with ability to dig craters and trenches in real time, and realistic game mechanics. Wow, it's a great game. After battle statistics that let you as a player evaluate results of attacks and see received damages with vectors of missile hits. It's interesting for enthusiasts. Game has campaign processor and mode building utilities that allowed modifying main elements of the game, add new machines, units, elements of interface and arms. Player must successfully accomplish battles in 4 historical operations on 60 square kilometers of battle area and manage Soviet, Iran, Iraq and Angola sides of the conflict. There are only 2 tanks in the game, Soviet T-62 and American M60A1, but both are rendered to staggering detail inside out. Steel Armor Blaze of War gives player an opportunity to drive battle tanks as driver and engineer, to organize tank tactics as gun layer, and manage a crew. Game requires quick reaction, intelligence, good memory, knowledge of technical features of the battle machines, ability to coordinate action of a whole tank crew, and ability to find optimal tactics in complex situations and missions like reconnaissance, capturing and keeping locations, support infantry actions, making ambushes, and breakthrough from encirclement. Number 6. Armored Warfare. While the game in general terms is similar to World of Tanks, a number of key differences ensure that both are worth the time and effort to try them out. While World of Tanks mainly covers World War II era, Armored Warfare brings you to the modern era with highly detailed combat vehicles from dozens of countries around the world. Armored Warfare provides tankers with more equipment, new tanks, and a selection of versatile tank technology that adds a great deal of variation to the game. Armored Warfare uses CryEngine 3 technology, which ensures that feeling of complete immersion in the game is guaranteed. The game provides two player versus player modes: standard random battle mode and global operations mode, where your team must achieve control of certain map areas and key points. Occasionally, game developers provide a realistic battle mode that features no aim and penetration indicator assistance. Minimap depicts only allies' positions, no camo or spotting mechanics. All is made as close to reality as possible, and this mode is absolutely brilliant. Additionally, Armored Warfare features a couple of enhanced player versus environment modes, allowing you to team up with friends and buddies to take on artificial intelligence enemies, progressing through the ranks and earn rewards. Game is regularly updated with new features, tanks, and occasionally new maps as well. On top of being one of the best tank games you can get, it's also one of the best free PC games available. Number 5. Panzer Corps 2. Panzer Corps 2 is an ultimate Second World War strategy game with over 1000 unique units and expansive campaign, including 60 scenarios. Every single unit in the game has been painstakingly modeled and animated. The game is easy to play and at the same time extremely deep. Its fine-tuned turn-based gameplay style means that it's a quality of your decisions which will determine the outcome of the battles. In-depth gameplay mechanics, model unit movement, combat, spotting, encirclement, weather, capturing enemy equipment, and much more. Panzer Corps 2 offers a wide range of multiplayer options: hot seat, server-assisted play by email mode, and the true online multiplayer. In the later mode, it is even possible to play your turns simultaneously with your co-op partners, which basically means that waiting time will be reduced close to zero. On top of that, Panzer Corps 2 includes the most powerful scenario editor, which is very user-friendly and easy to use. Using the editor, you can create your own campaigns, single scenarios, and multiplayer maps, or you can enjoy content already created by other gamers. Number 4. Valkyria Chronicles 4. It is a tactical RPG made by Sega and puts you in an army officer role tasked with guiding his unit through the war. You engage enemies in turn-based battles, and one of the units you can call on is a tank. The visually game looks like an anime game, which gives it an exclusive charm in comparison to other tank-based games. Number 3. World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a massive multiplayer online game for Windows and Mac, featuring over 800 combat vehicles from mid-20th century, ranging from scout vehicles to huge tanks like, for example, Mouse. If you are looking for a hardcore lifetime to master tank game, then World of Tanks must be exact candidate and choice for you. This is one of the best tank games for casual gamers looking for more tanking action, and yet one with enough depth and progression to keep gamers invested into the later tiers of unlockable tanks. Number 2. Enlisted. Enlisted is a massive multiplayer online squad-based shooter for PC, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, covering iconic key battles from World War II, where you act as an infantry squad leader, tank crew or an aircraft pilot. The game features carefully recreated, historically accurate weapons, military vehicle models, and spectacular atmosphere of that era, and really massive battles of numerous soldiers, tanks, and aircraft with artillery and naval support. Most of enlisted game modes simulate a battle involving several infantry platoons and gives the player control over a squad of soldiers with various roles like submachine gunner, sniper, radio operator, rifleman and others, who can be trained, equipped with new weapons and items, and eventually taken into the battle. Alternatively, players may opt to play and control a whole military vehicle crew or an aircraft pilot. You control one soldier directly, while the other soldiers will be controlled by artificial intelligence, which act independently following the player's general orders. Plus, you can switch between soldiers and stay at the most interesting point in the battle even after part of your squad has been defeated. And finally, number 1. War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive free-to-play cross-platforms massive multiplayer online military game. It is accessible for players with Windows, Linux, Macs, PlayStation and Xbox Series. The game includes aviation, attack helicopters, armored vehicles, anti-aircraft guns, multiple rocket launchers and naval vessels. The game offers as many as 2,000 vehicles from early 20th century to the most modern combat units in the extensive variety of combat situations, over 100 maps representing the main historic battle theaters. How good is that? Game features player versus player and the player versus environment, full-scale combat missions at various difficulty settings, all enhanced with astonishing graphics and authentic sound effects. Game is regularly updated with new vehicles, maps and missions. There are enormous number of tanks and branches to research, so you can easily spend hours and get lost in the game, and must be very careful not to spend precious time into the wrong tank, which eventually may turn out not very productive. War Thunder is not easy game, and it favors obsessive attention to the detail. Additionally, the game has a complex and very sophisticated armor penetration mechanics which forces you to carefully consider which ammo type to pick and where to aim before firing a shot. In general, game has two modes. Arcade mode, which can be considered good as introduction to the game and some of the game's core mechanics as well, and simulator mode, which has no view, stance or aim assist. And finally, War Thunder allows you to create custom content for War Thunder and share it on War Thunder Live, with the prospect to even earn real money through the revenue share partner system. And all these content creators tools are incorporated in the game. So basically you can create maps, models and missions for the game and even earn money. What is your favorite PC tank game? Share your opinion and leave your comment in comment sections. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching and following Tank Zone. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next episode.